staying with the Iran issue, this comes as the Trump administration announced it is conducting a comprehensive review of its Iran policy, including the nuclear agreement that President Obama signed with Tehran to limit its nuclear program. A new U.S.-Iran policy could effectively break that deal by imposing new sanctions against Iran over what Secretary of State Rex Tillerson called its many provocations. Well, let's listen to what Secretary Tillerson had to say.
The Trump administration is currently conducting across the entire government a review of our Iran policy. Today, I'd like to address Iran's alarming and ongoing provocations that export terror and violence, destabilizing more than one country at a time. Iran is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism and is responsible for intensifying multiple conflicts and undermining U.S. interest in countries such as Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and Lebanon, and continuing to support attacks against Israel. An unchecked Iran has the potential to travel the same path as North Korea and take the world along with it.
Let me bring in the discussion now Dr. Emily Landau. She is the director of the Arms Control and Regional Security Program at the Institute for National Security Studies here in Tel Aviv. Emily, you just heard it. As Eric Cordelisa said, Iran seems to be complying with the nuclear deal. Is it wise then to take this new strategy that could blow up that agreement?
Well, I think what we're hearing from the administration is that it seems that Iran is upholding, remember, these were minimal concessions that Iran made according to the JCPOA. What we're hearing is that Iran is more or less complying with the deal, but what the administration is saying is that that is not sufficient. That in order to assess what's going on with Iran, the administration needs to take a comprehensive look at the picture. And the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, is only one component. He began his statement yesterday with all of the destabilizing activities that Iran is carrying out in the region. This is worrying the administration, and they are reacting to it. What they're saying is, look, this deal, focuses on one small part of the picture. But if all these other things are going on at the same time, these have a very negative impact on whatever we can expect from Iran in the nuclear realm. And he said very clearly, we could find in, X number of years that Iran is going down the same path as North Korea.
But Emily, if the Trump administration wants tougher sanctions on Iran, can it do that without Europe's cooperation?
The United States can do a lot on the sanctions front without its other P5+1 partners. We know this. The most effective sanctions that were put in place before 2013, before the negotiations began, that were, the factor that brought Iran to the table, the most important ones were the financial sanctions that were put in place by the United States, together with sanctions from Europe, but the United States can do a lot on its own.
Okay. Dr. Emily Landau, thank you for joining us today on The Rundown.